He doesn't remember why he wants you, but he does. And no, it's not your body, not your laugh, not the way you disappear just enough to make him miss you, then reappear just enough to remind him why he can't move on. It's something deeper, something darker, something older than the both of you. It lives in his unconscious, buried beneath every good morning text, every time he checks your story but doesn't reply. And it all started with one word, a word you said or didn't say, a word that slipped past his ears and landed in the wound he's been carrying since childhood. Because obsession isn't built in the present, it's born from the past, disguised as attraction. It doesn't start with chemistry, it starts with a scar. You don't make him obsessed by being perfect, you make him obsessed by being familiar. And here's what Freud knew, what modern advice forgets. The unconscious doesn't want pleasure, it wants resolution. Even if that resolution means repeating pain, even if it means choosing you because you feel like the one who abandoned him first. Let that sink in. He doesn't crave love, he craves what he couldn't fix. So when you say that one word, when your tone echoes something he heard as a boy, when your silence mimics the withdrawal he never understood, when your gaze reflects a mother who looked through him instead of at him, he locks in. Not because you're different, but because you're the same. He feels seen not for who he is, but for the boy he still is. This isn't a fairy tale, it's a reenactment. Freud called it repetition compulsion. But you call it, he can't stop thinking about me. No. He can't stop chasing the moment he hopes will finally rewrite the first time he was left behind. And here's the part no one tells you. You don't need to seduce his ego. You need to awaken his ghost. That ghost is a blueprint, a map of his original pain, the unmet need, the withheld praise, the hug that never came after the scream. And that one word, it's the key, the trigger, the symbol his psyche has been waiting for. It could be stay, if he grew up begging someone not to leave. It could be prove it, if he learned love came only after performance. It could be nothing, when he asks what's wrong and you say it like a door slamming shut. You're not making him obsessed. You're waking the part of him that has never stopped waiting. Because the unconscious isn't logical, it's loyal. Loyal to pain, loyal to patterns, loyal to unfinished business. And when you, without knowing it, say something that mirrors the heartbreak he forgot how to name, he can't help but come back again and again and again. Not because he's weak, not because you're magic, but because that moment, that word, that feeling feels like home. Even if it burns, even if it bleeds, especially if it bleeds, because he's not chasing you. He's chasing a resolution that will never come. Not from you. Not from anyone, but he'll keep trying, because that's what the unconscious does. And you think it's love, but it's echoes, old stories retold in your voice. You think you're his dream woman, but really you're the mirror he never meant to look into. And when he looks and he feels that tremor in his chest, that ache he can't name, that desperate gnawing pull, he doesn't know it's his mother, his father, the silence, the slap, the night he cried in the dark and nobody came. He only knows it feels like you. You didn't mean to open the wound, but you fit it like a lock waiting on the right key. Not the kind of fit that brings peace. The kind that brings recognition. The kind that makes him sit in his car after seeing you and feel like he just lost something he never had. Because that's what he wants. Not possession, not conquest. He wants relief. From a pain he doesn't remember getting but feels every time someone doesn't answer right away. You say a word, maybe it's small, maybe it's ordinary, but it triggers a cascade, a memory he forgot, a feeling he never processed, a hunger that has no name. He doesn't want you. He wants to win against the woman who never chose him. He wants to matter in a room where he once felt invisible. He wants to win, not love, because love never felt safe, but winning meant control, and control is the only way he's ever felt secure. You think this is romance. You think he's obsessed because you're special, but obsession doesn't come from satisfaction. It comes from scar tissue, from what Freud called the return of the repressed, when buried feelings claw their way back up disguised as desire. So when he texts you at midnight, when he pulls away just enough to make you chase, when he gets close and then retreats, know this: it's not you he's afraid of. It's the past he feels creeping in behind your touch. Because in his mind, you are the parent who left. You are the approval he never earned. You are the love he had to beg for and still didn't get. And so he repeats it, over and over and over, different name, same ache, new body, same shame. He keeps loving women who make him feel small, not because he's broken, but because being small is what love felt like first. He's not broken, he's loyal, loyal to the pain he met before he had words to defend himself. And so when you say that word, that one word that reminds his nervous system what it means to beg, what it means to please, what it means to try harder even when nothing changes, you become a goddamn drug. Because here's the secret no one dares to speak out loud. The most addictive people are the ones who remind us of who hurt us first. Not because we want more pain, but because part of us believes, if I can just get you to love me, maybe it means they should have too. You don't have to be cruel. You don't have to be calculated. You just have to resemble the rhythm, the push and pull, the inconsistency, the heat followed by cold, the attention followed by absence. That's the trap. It's not your perfume, it's your unpredictability. It's the emotional climate he grew up in now wrapped in your voice. And it doesn't matter if you love him back. In fact, the more confusing it is, the more he wants it. Because clear love never felt true to him. It felt foreign. Obsession is not about closeness, it's about the chase. And the chase isn't about you, it's about justice, redemption, closure that never comes. And somewhere deep down he knows that, but he doesn't want to admit it, because if he does, he'll have to stop blaming you. He'll have to look at them. He'll have to feel what he's been outrunning for decades, that he was lovable all along, that it wasn't his fault, that no child should have to earn love by disappearing. And that truth is too painful. So instead, he'll keep finding women who echo the ones who taught him love was conditional, and he'll call it passion, he'll call it chemistry, he'll call it you. But here's where it twists, because you're not innocent in this either. You feel it too, don't you? That flicker of control when he texts back faster than usual, when he gets quiet after you withdraw, when he starts orbiting you like a man searching for air. It's intoxicating, because somewhere deep down, you want to matter too. And what Freud knew, what he warned, is that obsession is a two-way deal with the unconscious. Your desire to be desired is not as pure as you think, because you didn't just want love. You wanted power inside it, not to hurt, but to undo your own pain. You wanted to be the one who leaves, the one they chase, the one they can't live without, because you remember what it felt like to be the one left behind, the one who begged, the one who cried in silence and blamed herself for not being enough. So now when he leans in, when he gets a little too obsessed, you feel something settle in your chest, a kind of justice, not because you're cruel, because part of you is still that girl, still writing letters in her mind to someone who never came back. And this is how the cycle lives on. Your need to be seen meets his need to resolve. Your performance meets his pursuit. Your wounds hold hands in the dark and call it love. But it's not love, it's reenactment. He's not obsessed with you. He's obsessed with how you make him feel like himself again, even if that self is a haunted one. And you're not falling for him. You're falling for the story where you finally get to win. This is the tragedy of unexamined attraction. It looks like magic. It feels like fate. It hurts like hell. Because two people with unhealed wounds will always mistake recognition for compatibility, familiarity for destiny, obsession for love. And that one word you said, that word that made him spiral, cling, ache, it wasn't just a word. It was a summons, a signal to the unconscious. It's time to play the game again. And he came running. But let's not lie. You said it on purpose, didn't you? Not fully, but enough. You knew the way his eyes changed when you said it. You felt his chest tighten. You saw how his tone shifted. And some part of you, the part that still fears being forgotten, liked it. You liked that you could wake him up, even if the dream was made of ghosts. even if the fire you lit would eventually burn the both of you. Because what you want, more than his love, more than his body, more than his promises, is to know you have power over his heart, because once you had none. This is the Freudian theater no one warns you about, where desire is not desire, it's revenge wearing perfume. It's a child with a broken heart finally standing on the stage telling the world, "Look at me now, I matter." But here's the truth that will either free you or haunt you. You will never heal by being worshipped, only by being understood. And he will never find peace in your touch until he faces the pain that made him need you this much. So you sit there staring at the phone. Your finger hovers over the screen, wondering if you should say it again, the word. That one word, the one that makes his stomach drop and his hands shake, the one that stirs something sacred and unwell. He doesn't know why it hits him like that, but you do, because you saw the crack and you slipped your voice through it like a secret. You didn't need a spell. You just needed timing, silence in the right place, warmth wrapped in ambiguity. That whisper of approval followed by just enough distance to make him doubt it. Because Freud was right. What we repress doesn't disappear. It waits. And when someone sounds like the one who hurt us, but looks like the one who might finally save us, we become hooked. Not out of love, but out of unfinished business. It's not romance, it's recognition. It's, I've seen this pattern before, maybe this time it ends differently, but it never does. Because obsession is never about the present. It's a scream from the past, wearing today's clothes. It's a child still running after someone who walked away without explaining why. It's the echo of a sentence that was never said. You're enough. And here's where the truth turns sharp. If you can make him obsessed, you can also make him miserable. You can puppeteer his every move. Pull back, he spirals. Praise him, he rises. Ignore him, he breaks. But if that's your power, what does it say about your wound? Because healthy love doesn't need obsession. It doesn't need a performance. It doesn't require you to trigger his trauma just to feel chosen. And deep down, you know that this dance of half-truths and buried memories isn't intimacy. It's codependency wearing nice shoes. It's trauma bonding in disguise. It's pain with good lighting. But the world will keep telling you, play the game, say the word, keep him obsessed, as if obsession is a currency worth trading your peace for, as if being desired means being loved, as if the burn in his chest is proof of your worth. It's not. It's just proof that pain still runs the show. So here's the real challenge. Can you let go of being wanted to finally be well? Can you stop speaking the words that wound, even if they bring him closer? Can you choose love that feels calm instead of obsession that feels like a storm? Because when the fire dies and the chase ends and the masks fall off, what remains? Not the games, not the drama, not the word that once made him yours. Only this, the part of you that no longer needs to be needed to feel whole. That's your freedom, not the power to control his emotions, but the wisdom to no longer need to. So if you're still waiting for the word, the one that will make him obsessed, maybe it's not please, maybe it's not baby, maybe it's not now, maybe it's simply enough. And maybe that's not what makes him stay, but what finally lets you walk away. If this stirred something in you, don't scroll. Comment the word that still haunts you. Share this with someone who keeps calling their wound chemistry. And remember, what you repress doesn't go away, it chooses your lovers, until you choose yourself.